stopped in the middle of the road. Apparently there's a thing here. A very good afternoon from the city of Palermo here in the deep south of Italy. I'm staying here for one night. Tomorrow I'll hop on a train all the way across Italy, all the way to Milan. Follow me if you don't do already. Made it to the train station where we will take the InterCity Notte train all the way to Milan. That's a 22-hour journey, one of the longest in Europe, one of the longest sleeper trains. And today I'm doing it in a single cabin. Right there, the third from the bottom, Milan Central Station, Trenitalia 1964, InterCity Notte. Before boarding my InterCity Notte train, there was just enough time for some train spotting, although it's mainly Bombardier and Alstom trains. Still cool though, as they come in different brands and colors here. At the far end of the platform it's also much more quiet, with only a few seemingly lonely passengers waiting for their next train. So it's an ideal spot to hang out for a bit away from the McDonald's crowd at the main station building. I was waiting at platform 5, but then staff approached me and told me, no, your train is at platform number 1. Yeah, they changed it. Let's go. At least they helped me. They could have left me stranded here. Today's trip in a single occupancy sleeper cabin on board the InterCity Notte 1964 will bring me to the Italian city of Milan, from Palermo, where I am now. This 23-hour trip will bring me across large parts of Italy, hugging the coastline for a big part of the first half of the trip. I found one of the cheapest fares on this train for a single cabin by just selecting through different dates at the website of Trenitalia. I decided to book it right away, removing yet another thing to do in Europe from my list. I guess this train has seen better days. So, let's get on. This is not my carriage. It's about departure time for the InterCity Notte from Palermo all the way to Milano. So, let's go. It's raining, but I guess the weather will get better. And if not, I just might take a nap. This app can be downloaded, but it doesn't work for my account. Probably because I'm in a foreign country. Look at that terrain. There's rain hanging around the hills here. That is the Mediterranean Sea. Yeah, it's pretty close to the water. There are some houses, some of them abandoned, some of them not abandoned, but imagine living here. See views like this. Let's do a quick tour of my compartment for the trip. That's my stuff. One bench. And that bed will not be used. Nor does that one. I have a lot of storage space though. One window you can open, but I didn't try yet. We have a wash basin. No water, so I'll probably have to give it another way. The door, I realize now, doesn't have a window, nor is any window there, which is, well, I don't know, inconvenient maybe. So you should open the door if you want to look outside on the other side. So if you have 3 beds, there's power and lighting. This is the second one. Also, I'm using the bottom one because, well, my bed's here as well. And the elephant in the room is this large mirror. Start giving this. Welcome on board to Left Spots. InterCity Notte, refreshing power. A different brand of stuff. And okay, supply right here. I received a plastic. 2 bottles of drinking water with a cup in plastic. And the paper menu. The station of Cefalù, I think. I'll show you how to ride it. Here it is. That's Cefalù, right? The view in these towns here looks beautiful with those steep cliffs. The train has to go somewhere, most likely it's in the mountain. As we're following the northern coast of Sicily towards the port of Messina on the eastern side, weather changes quickly. There are sunny spells, but also moments where rain clouds were hanging over us. It stayed pretty much dry, although that didn't really matter as I was in my private little cabin for the duration of my trip, without the need to get off the train or even out of my cabin if I didn't really want to. We're just a few hours out of Palermo now, and it's still a bit further before we actually reach Messina, where some interesting things will happen. In this train you can open your window. It's really nice because it's pretty warm. A little bit of a cool breeze. This is what the cabin looks like when the door's closed. Again, that huge mirror. And the door, which can be locked from the inside, not from the outside. No key, so if you want to get out and you're alone, you just have to bring your stuff. Somewhere there behind the clouds, supposed to be Mount Etna. So we can't see it, and we can't see whether it's active or not because it has been active in the last months and years. We've made it to the port town of Messina, which means we are supposed to get on a ferry now. That's the interesting part of this train. This train will be rolled onto a ferry, and once you've made it across to the mainland, the train will be connected again. Although not the only one, this is one of the few ferry crossings that also takes trains. It's the only sleeper train that does this in Europe, that's for sure. Well, as far as I know. Messina is also the place where the InterCity Notte 1964, the one I'm on, joins or is joined with the InterCity Notte 1962 that started its trip in the city of Syracuse a few hours south from here. That train is right next to us now and will be shunted on the ferry first. Once we've made the crossing, cars of both trains will be attached to each other to form one sleeper train for the remainder of the journey all the way to Milan. But before that happens, all cars have to be rolled onto the ferry. As the ferry isn't as long as the entire train, this means it's quite some work getting all those cars on the ferry. We are now crossing the Messina Strait by ferry, which only is a few kilometers, so that means getting off and on the ferry takes longer than being on the ferry and the traveling. That's where we came from, the two vessels. We came from the right ferry. That was a tree. And these screeches of our train coming to a stop would be the start of a long delay. Ooh, fancy. While enjoying the sunset here, we have just started moving again as we were stopped at Villa San Giovanni for about an hour. I don't know the reason, but we are delayed by about an hour now. So let's see if we can correct that, otherwise I'll probably won't get to my connecting trains in Milan later tomorrow. Well, there is a sunset going on blue skies and the blue sea, but we're in the tunnel. With our departure from Villa San Giovanni, our trip to Calabria really kicks off. And that's the remainder of the sunset there behind me. I just received an email. We are 40 minutes behind schedule, which would make my transit in Milan About 25 minutes to find out. It's only a move of platform. See here, I ordered a lasagna that comes with a coffee and a snack. The conductor had to run over to the train to get these from the other side, and it's from the front side. And I was arranging for my snack and coffee. What's left is my beer in a can. I can drink it from a cup, but it's beer. I'm not going to do that. So there was a bed hidden right here, and you just flipped over the couch or seats and then flipped back my bed. Somewhere in southern Italy. The last rays of sunlight are slowly fading. See you tomorrow. And of course, when I was just laying flat, closing my eyes a bit, listening to YouTube, they did a check again. They checked my tickets and my passport this time. They didn't want to see that earlier, but for the night it's apparently a requirement. A very good morning. It's not dark anymore. It's 6 o'clock in the morning and we are still following the coastline. There we are. So, recap of the night. I slept for about 8 hours, went to the toilet once. It's pretty cool here now, so I'm wearing my jacket again. We've almost made it to the town of Pisa, which means we've blasted through hundreds of kilometers and way past Rome already. It was night anyway, so there wasn't much to see probably, and even at the station. So let's see what the last few hours brings. I think in about 5 hours we should be arriving in Milan. Sunrise, there are some ferries there, there's a lighthouse coming up. Not a lighthouse, I think. Looks like a lighthouse. As we are blazing through the towns near Livorno, a little addition to the night I had. After the passport check, I was left alone and turned off the lights again. The bench that was turned into my bed for the night was nice and soft, and I like it soft. I really hate hard mattresses that are more like a layer of cardboard. That said, let's continue to Milan. First stop of the day is Livorno station, which is right behind me, as you can't see because there's a train blocking the view, but it's really Livorno. Livorno is the last coastal town we're calling on this trip. From here we will swing inland towards Florence and Bologna through the spine of Italy, the Apennine Mountains we have been following along the western side ever since we crossed into Reggio Calabria yesterday evening. From Bologna the trip will be pretty flat. Pisa Central Station. The weather was generally nice with blue skies and a nice morning sun. It was not so different than back home though, but any sun beats a bad weather day, especially when you're traveling, right? We even got some early morning fog stuck in a valley or two, creating mystical scenes with the sun already poking through. That's the high speed line we are not using. Reserved for the really fast trains that don't run all the way south. This is how my breakfast was served. The coffee is warm, the rest is all average temperatured. So this is the breakfast spread out a bit so you can see what we actually got for breakfast. This is included in the ticket price, including the morning coffee, which is of course an Italian one, so that's one big sip. We're on an outskirts station of Firenze, and that's the landing strip. That's a lot of overhead wires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 there. 8. Prato Centrale. There are a lot of tunnels in between Florence and Bologna. It has been dark for like 10 minutes now, so nothing much to see. Let's wait until we are in Bologna again. As we are rolling into Boulogne, this is the view I had when sitting with my back against the pillow, with the aisle behind me. I only noticed the young woman noticing me recording when scrolling to the footage, so hello to you too. Looks like any other station I've seen today and yesterday. Roughly all the same. Are they pretty? Not really. Are they functional? Yeah. Now we've made it out of the mountainous areas south of Boulogne. We have sped up significantly, now speeding along on these flatlands here. Or at least flatter lands. It's not perfectly flat, it's not the Netherlands here. Following scheduled arrival times, we are about 1.5 hours out of Milan, our final destination for the day. Yesterday we racked up about 40 minutes of delays, and I'm not sure if we were able to reduce them, but I guess we'll find out shortly once we are arriving in Milan. I had 1 hour between trains. If the delay is still 40 minutes, I should be fine with 20 minutes of transit time, as it's only walking from one platform to the other at the same station. We are about 45 minutes out from our final destination of Milan Central Station. On time. As with all sleepers, not all passengers stay until the end. Most don't. So we are slowly rolling into the outskirts of Milano. Infrastructure is better here. Buildings look better. That's the big divide that Europe has to overcome. The building right there says Milano Centrale, which means we are waiting to get into Milan Central Station. And that Vecchia Rossa train is leaving.
Prima. E allora gli ho dato I biglietti e lei mi ha detto guardi domani c'è il posto, poi mi diceva sabato no, domenica no, ho detto no, allora parto subito, cioè a me interessa subito. E quindi so io...
And this is Milan Central Station. I have 1 hour and 10 minutes to get to the correct platform for my ongoing train. After almost a full day on board of the InterCity Notte, I suppose I have a pretty good feeling on what this service is all about. It's not only about slow travel for the random international tourist, but mainly a train that connects large parts of the country with one long train journey. Ease of booking. I booked my ticket through the website of Trenitalia and simply paid with my credit card. The ticket was sent to my email instantly and I didn't have to print it to show on board. 5 stars. Level of comfort. My single occupancy cabin was of course top level comfort on this train. No showers available though, and the fact that there was no running water in my cabin was also not good. Water was running in the toilets though. 3 stars. Time traveled. This trip isn't the fastest, but it isn't supposed to be. It's intended to connect large parts of Italy. That's exactly how this works. So sit back and relax if you're a foreign tourist that knows what he's booked. 4 stars. Cleanliness. The train was clean, kept clean, except for the toilets that developed a classic smell overnight. Fortunately, the window can be opened there, so fresh air is available if needed. 4 stars. Price comparison. For €125 you get a private cabin, but you need to be flexible as these single-use cabins are normally quite a lot more expensive. But since you spend the night in it, it saves you on a hotel room somewhere along the way. 5 stars. Meal service. I ordered the microwave lasagna menu for my dinner, which was reasonable. Breakfast wasn't as good as that unfortunately. All items were pre-packed, except for the coffee of course. 2 stars. Altogether a pretty decent experience with some small points of improvement for Trenitalia. Here we are, let's go.